So, what you just saw was the periodic table of elements. And the elements are a very simple form, and they're building blocks of our universe. And I'm sure you're familiar with atoms that build up our universe. They're an even simpler form. And these elements are, simply put, they're just the different kinds of atoms. And how you determine how these atoms are different, or what kind of atom it is the arrangement of the protons, neutrons, and electrons. And these are called the elementary particles. And every different kind of atom will have a different number of electrons and have a different atomic mass and those kind of things. You may have noticed numbers by each of these elements, and we're looking at hydrogen right now, and you can see a large 1 in the top right hand corner of hydrogen, and this is the atomic number of hydrogen. And all elements have an atomic number from 1 through 118. And there's a smaller number beneath the 1. You might not be able to tell what it says, but that number is 1.008, and that is the atomic mass. And the atomic mass is determined by taking the number of protons and neutrons and simply adding them together. And even though there are many elements that we are aware of so far, they're not the only things that make up our universe. These individual elements can come together with other elements and form compounds that make up our universe as well. For instance, water. That is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. And the formula for it is H2O, which means for every one oxygen atom, there are 2 hydrogen atoms. And these hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms, when they come together, they are no longer one individual atom, but they become a molecule. And the force that bonds these elements together to form a compound is known as a chemical bond. And these bonds cannot just simply be pulled apart and separated. But a mixture is a different story entirely. These can be pulled apart, and a mixture is made up of multiple different elements, compounds, or both. So an example of this would be a salad. You can simply pull apart its components. For instance, you could easily remove a small tomato or the lettuce, because these are not chemically bonded together. So mixtures don't have chemical equations because they are not chemically bonded like compounds. And the actual way that compounds chemically bond is they share electrons that are in the outermost energy level. Because in atoms, there are energy levels of atoms, or they're kind of like rings that can hold a certain number of electrons in each. So the first energy level can hold 2 electrons, and then it would be 6, and then it would keep going on and on like that. And the outermost layer of this, the valence electrons, is where these actually chemically bond. So the multiple compounds or elements share this layer of electrons, and that's how they bond. And when 2 or more elements or compounds chemically combined, the valence electrons that chemically combine form pairs. And helium cannot chemically combine with anything because its energy level that has its valence electrons is full, so it cannot form a pair with anything. And elements that have only one valence electron are very reactive because they're trying to constantly form a chemical bond with something, so when they finally do, it is very reactive. Alright, well that completes this video, and if you have a question that you'd like me to answer in another video, let me know down in the comments and I'll check it out. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.